What's up, guys? My name is Ted DarkClaw, and with me, as always, is the Black Knight. We are the co-owners of helladopetoys.com, the toy people for the toy people. Aaron,
For the toy people? For the people of the toys?
Aaron, how the hell are you doing?
Ted, funny you asked that question. Doing well.
Excellent.
No, doing good. I had worked the brother-in-law's food truck yesterday, making pizzas. I think this is his way of swaying me over to the dark side. But it was good. It was hella busy. We were only there for like 3.5 hours, and it felt like I was there longer, but it was busy. But it was good.
You don't want to do pizza, man. Pizza's nightlife, and we're, as Danny Glover says, we're too old for that shit.
I definitely was feeling that shit.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. What do I know?
I don't know anything.
I'm just a guy on the internet.
As am I.
Yeah.
But Ted.
Yeah. That's
How
me.
are you? How you doing?
I'm great, man. Busy week, wild weekend.
Didn't look. Shame on you. Didn't do the look. Carry on. Go ahead. Don't mind me.
Busy week, wild week. So ignore Aaron here. And yeah, lots of helladoping, man. Lots of packing and shipping and working and crying.
Lots of orders came in this week, man.
Oh yeah, so much new cool stuff came in.
They did.
Oh man, stuff's just landing and landing and landing. I really need you guys to buy this stuff.
Yeah, because I'm watching the money go, woo, and then it's like woo, and then woo.
Yeah.
So buy stuff so we can get more stuff.
Yeah, we want to buy more stuff.
Yeah,
more
like stuff that our guest who just joined us is promoting.
Yeah, he has stuff that you can buy. We do have a guest. It's very exciting.
It is. So, I mean, let's just without further ado. I mean, let's bring him on.
Okay, so go ahead.
You know him, you love him. OG in the YouTube toy world, been running the game for a long ass time, making channels like this and other cool channels that you see on the YouTubes possible because he's been doing it forever. I'd like to introduce you to Shartimus Prime.
Shartimus Prime. Sorry, we didn't have any music. How you doing, man?
All right, Ted and Aaron, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, man.
Dude, we are excited, dude. You're freaking Shartimus Prime, and you're on our no-name channel saying our no-name company's name.
No, you guys are no names. No. Heard a lot of good things about you, talking about you guys a whole bunch, been hearing some really good things. So yeah, you guys are known. You guys are known.
Well, I mean, that's always a good thing, we try to make sure that our name is spread nicely amongst all the people, also, people in California think we're in California, which we are not.
Yeah, you did use it. That is a California word for sure.
But I mean, it's great for stirring up random conversations, though. Like, hey, man, are you from Cali? Like, nah, man. I'm from Central Ohio.
You're from Ohio. Not very exciting.
Not at all.
Well, we have a lot of stuff to get into with you, but first we have an important question that we ask.
Absolutely.
The start of every show. And I have to ask Mr. Black Knight. What are you sipping on?
Well, I was gonna bring up something nice and special, but I didn't. I had nothing. So I'm going with the reliable, the spiked strawberry Still Reserve. So Still Reserve, if you're still watching the show, which I know you don't, hook your boy up. I need these. Massive cases.
So many cases.
All of them. I need all the cases.
All the cases.
Mr. DarkClaw.
That's me.
What are you sipping on?
In my trusty Hella Dope mug, I am sipping on the water because that's what I do now. And then, I guess this is growing up. And then my side piece is the fancy, lavish, lovely Ferrari. Ferrari. I don't know. Laser Pants, as I was saying, he'll come in here and yell at me or something. So enough about us, Aaron. We have to ask our esteemed guest, Shartimus Prime, my man.
Shartimus Prime.
What are you sipping on?
Well, do you guys both have are there alcohol in those drinks?
Not this one.
This
Okay.
one,
That one
Yeah.
does, right? I
You
saw
can
a
have alcohol.
percentage
It's allowed.
number.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have any alcohol in here, so I don't know if I need to catch up and go get a drink. But
I mean, you
You're
can.
more than welcome to,
I
sir.
I have just water right over here in this
That's all right, man. We've had a lot of interesting drinks on this show. So.
with touch of ice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Water on the rocks.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you because I know you just finished with Mr. Allen, and then you literally jumped into here. I don't know if you need to take a pee break or anything, but you were more than welcome to just be like, hey, got to run for a minute, and that's fine.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
And before we get into questions, we should probably say hello to our chat, man, because
Yes,
we got a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, and there's a new esteemed guest who, to my knowledge, has not made an appearance in our chat, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
But first and foremost, Mr. Largo's Lair, greetings, my good sir. I hope you're still going live tomorrow. I need some new music in my dossier, so you added a new word to my vocabulary. I would have never used the word dossier, but see, now I have it, and I need some new music. So, Largo, hope to see you tomorrow. Robert's Infinite Realms, good evening. Hope you're doing well. The man, Patrick, man, you're doing the hella dope Lord's work. Thank you so much for all of your plugging and promotions that you're doing for us. We can never thank you enough.
Nice.
Travis, Mr. Wonderful, I'm hoping to see that Hexastack Shopify open soon, and I'm still waiting on some Hexastacks to stack up my goods. My Marvel Legends are looking lonely. I need something to stand on. The greatest moderator in the game, Axion Figs. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. He was on Payne's Toy Samples. He did a show with Brick Something earlier today.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys catch those replays. They were talking some good stuff.
Yeah, Ed's like famous now, dude. He gets around, dude. We just roll with celebrities now.
That's right. Dude. That's how we get down.
That's what we do.
Thanos, good evening. How you doing? Eric, once again, a pleasure seeing you in the chat. Now, Shartimus, I don't know if you've got like a photo guy, but let me introduce you to Realm of Toys 89 on Instagram. This man is a photo genius.
Oh,
he has the best photo game out there. So if you need some good shots, that's my man.
He rolls in the ACBA crew. He should you've probably seen his work somewhere, but
yeah,
Frank is the man.
Probably have. Yeah, I wish I could send these out. I actually have a couple of photographers in mind I really wish I could send them out to. It's just these are very expensive prototypes.
No, we understand. When we get this thing funded, man, look.
Yeah, I mean, like really expensive prototypes. Like take whatever number you're guessing and like quadruple that number.
So $15.
Shartimus is gonna leave it. Like, you know what, guys?
I want to change my mind.
You gotta adjust for inflation for California.
Right.
Yeah.
But, California's price
15 in 1950.
What was it when I was in North Carolina with X-Manny 87, and he picked me up from the airport, and I got to hang out with X-Manny at his place for a little bit after PowerCon last year, right? So because my flight went from Ohio and it went to Charlotte and then to California. So I met him in Charlotte, and as we're driving, I said something like, "What, $3.30 a gallon?" And he's like, "I know, that's crazy, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, crazy cheap, motherfucker. Like, yeah, we're paying like $4.50 or $4.75."
I think y'all paying like in the fives.
Now it's even more. Now it's just under $6 a gallon.
Oh, hell no.
And it's like just taking my daughter's school is like 10-15 minutes away, and it's like, yeah, and what like I think it rounds out around like $8 like a trip to do that. It's nuts. It's really it's ridiculous. So
you know what? I think I'm gonna stay in Ohio now. I thought about wanting to venture out into the world, but you know what? Good old Ohio and our cheap gas, our cheap smokes. Okay. I don't even smoke, and that's a crazy thing.
The only thing, like the thing that makes up for it is that we have amazing views over here. That's like nothing else.
You do have that.
Yeah, like it's like you can like make a painting out of like there's just so many views that you get around because we have all the mountains. We have so many mountains and hills that when I go anywhere else, like it's either cityscape or treescape, like a treescape like this. You know what I mean? We're out here, we have all these different like dimensions. You look out, rolling hills this way, hills all the way back over there, different hills in between, and it's like we do have moments of paradise out here, which is really nice. Like especially when it's a nice, beautiful day, and could just walk to the beach and walk back and wash my feet in the driveway. And just you know what I mean? It's like because of the sand and everything,
right?
You know what I mean? Like so, there are moments where it's like straight up paradise. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm on vacation. It feels like a vacation, but I'm actually home. But, you know what I mean? So it's a trip, but you know, but then it's like $5.60 a gallon.
I'm good. I'm good.
It is a trip.
All right, let me burn through these messages real quick, and we'll come back. Briscoe, once again, I was told that to arrive early since there was a free poop line. Yes. If you arrive early, right before Mossman shows up, poop line is free.
Oh, but speaking of Mossman, and I'll be quick, Aaron. I know you're trying to power through this here. We do have a new helladopetoys commercial on a Punk with Toys channel. It is a Mossman commercial. I know he premiered it for his members, I believe, the other night. But if y'all stick around, maybe we'll play it for you at the end. Y'all can get your Mossman fix.
I haven't even seen it. So
well, you know, I sent you the link.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Speaking of a Punk with Toys, he is here. Make sure you're checking out his show and his rant on Monday nights.
What's his favorite band? A Punk with Toys? A Punk with Toys? Who?
Yeah, he's a punk who likes toys. Who listens to punk music.
I'm a punk. I love toys. I'm a punk rocker. I'm not punk, but punk rocker, right? The what's his favorite band? Like, what are his top 3 favorite bands? I want to know.
Well, Lawrence, pop that in the chat, man. What's your top 3 punk bands so we can see if you're worthy of the name.
Just curious. You could tell the era they grew up in. You know what I mean? Like with your top 3 people. You know they you know when I mentioned my top 3, people are like, okay, I know what kind of kid you were. I know what era you grew up in. You can
got it. All right, Nolan, how's it going, man? Skyfall also in the house joining us. Damien managed to catch the stream live. Well, thank you. We appreciate you catching. We also appreciate you catching the replay. Either way it goes, we appreciate you no matter what. Greg sipping Sunday on helladopetoys. Yes, we are always sipping every single Sunday or any day that ends in Y. Carol, good evening. Pleasure to see you as always in the chat. Cobweb, man, all the cool peeps are in the house today.
Yeah.
But remember that name I told you that is the first time I believe in the chat? The one and only Ace of Ramen Toilet.
Ace, how's it going?
In the house.
Very exciting.
Ace.
He also says Russ is really doing the rounds. All the best, man. So
thank you. Yeah. Ace is almost at all of them too. I'm happy to see it. Well, no, maybe all of them, but I'm really happy to see him in the chat. Though.
Yeah, Ace is out here doing his thing. You know, I saw that van he's working on, making me very excited. Yeah. Also, still waiting on that ramen racer, which looks like he's got the packaging figured out. Now we just gotta get it on the boat. I need it.
Yeah, I really appreciate Ace's enthusiasm, like his passion. Oh man. That infectious, man. He loves what he's doing. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't doubt that at all. There's serious passion in that man and what he's working on. So yeah, wishing the best to Ace.
Absolutely. The Canuck. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. You're not late. You're just in time.
No. Ed, mute that man for being late.
Okay. Sorry, mute him, but you're still good. It's okay. He also says Shartimus Prime just doubled my order for the figs. Got me 2 of each order. Let's hope to get this funded.
Hey, thank you. That's my personal. That's my personal choices. I think getting 4 of them is the best way to go. Thank you so much, the Canuck. I appreciate that. Yeah, because that way you could have each figure with the different set of pants. So buying 2 of each and then having 1 set with the swapped legs. Then you could use the interchangeable heads on those. I feel like that's like the best way to go.
And then Miss Simi Skies, our other moderator, and then Spawn of one Ted DarkClaw there says good evening and to you, sir.
She says, "Good evening, Mr. Shart." That's she's like, "Do we call him Mr. Shart?" And I said, "I don't know."
Well, we did it. So
Mr. Shart. That's my dad's name. Just call me Shart.
I'm Shart Jr., darn it.
Yeah, no, my dad.
And then he did respond, sick of it all.
There we go.
And then Pennywise,
dude,
Circle Jerk,
Bad Religion. Circle Jerks for the first time. Oh, and Rancid. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, this dude's cool shit. All right, so yeah, I love all those bands. Yeah, Circle Jerks I saw for the first time at the NoFX finale show. That was an incredible set. That was fun. I was in the pit for that one most of the time. And then NoFX played a great show. I saw Rancid recently too. And I love the new Rancid album, by the way. I don't know if you've heard the new Rancid album, but yeah, dude, you should give it a good listen because yeah, I love that album. I love Bad Religion too. Bad Religion is like definitely one of the top punk bands. I've seen them several times. I saw them play during the pandemic with Alkaline Trio back in 2021 or 2022, not that long ago. That was a great show. I saw them in San Francisco at the Masonic. Yeah, all those bands are fantastic. Yeah, great choices, man. Mine are like I go like Rancid. Like I've always felt a lot of shame because Offspring gets a bad rap. But Offspring's like my number one, and then Rancid, NoFX. I guess Bad Religion would be way up there too. Ramones, like I still play a lot of Ramones from a different era, but yeah, Ramones.
Shartimus, you need to be on Largo's Lair for his infinite playlist, man. I'll tell Largo to reach out to you. It's just a show where you just get to take like 10 albums or 10 songs or something, man, and just go to fucking town for an hour. And he does a really nice presentation with like history of all the songs that you pick and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I know you're a busy man, but you know, when things calm down, so it's a good show, man.
So Shartimus, before we get to the grilling questions, because you know that's what we do. My wife wanted to let you know that she loves your collection behind you.
Oh, thank you so much. All right.
Now notice that she does not talk about my collection behind me at all, but she loves your toy collection. So we'll talk about that later.
She doesn't like your collection.
I'm sure she doesn't, but it's okay. All right.
Fine.
Let's get to it.
All right. So just info for the chat. If you guys have questions, also shout out to Laser Pants. I see you out there, buddy. If you guys have questions, please throw them into the chat. Punk, I see all you guys. We're going to talk punk rock music with Shartimus. We got time at the end. They're just throwing out band names now.
Yeah, dude, I never thought I'd never thought I'd see Keith Morris on stage. So, and I play a little bit of bass and guitar, so I've done some Circle Jerks covers. That's just like or at least one anyway. I know we did a couple. I don't know. It was some years ago. But anyway, all right. Yeah.
And so anybody with questions in the chat, throw them in there. We will take chat breaks in between the questions that we're asking Shartimus. We will do our best to get all of them. I know he's got limited time. He's on tour, so he's just busy. So we're going to field as many questions as we can. So put them in there. But I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to get right into this, man. Let's talk this Kickstarter. Let me get this up here. We're going to go right to the screen.
You mind if I grab the Infinity Gauntlet in case?
Oh, go for it.
If we get more backers during this live stream, I'll hit the button on the Infinity Gauntlet because
I would love that.
Summoning the power of the Infinity Stones to make this dream a reality. So I'll go grab that real quick.
Go grab it.
All right, man. Good seeing you. 4 a.m. Good luck, man.
And then, where'd it go? The stupid chat moves. Laser Pants. I saw Simple Plan like 3 weeks ago, and they actually did a really good job. I enjoyed it very much.
Simple Plan.
I saw them with Offspring and Sum 41. It was a good show.
That's right. I missed out on that show. They came to the Bay Area, and I was really bummed out. But I was I did a family camping trip. So I couldn't make it. But
I had to see Offspring before I died, and I thought that might be the last chance. So.
Yeah, I love Offspring, and in the Bay Area, their original drummer played a song. So my friends I got all the text messages and I got a bunch of video clips on my phone for what I had missed. I was like, oh damn it, oh you assholes, all you went to the show. So that was a big one I missed out on. But hey, you know what? I got to see some other cool stuff too. But anyway, yeah, Street Humans.
All right, here we go. So, what you got for us, man? Tell us all about the project here.
Sure. Yeah. So this, I mean, the idea came about 2019, 2020. I started actually putting pencil to paper and started drawing up these, these goons that I wanted to have in my display that I never had. I felt just really frustrated reusing the same body molds from my Marvel Legends with the same head sculpts that were very recognizable characters, but trying to play them off as if they were just regular civilians. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a civilian. That's Victor Von Doom. Like I could recognize them. And I just got really sick of that and thought, hey, how cool would it be to, try to make my own thing, try to get this rolling. And from the very beginning, I wanted to have 4 different ethnicities. So I wanted to have a black character, a Latin character, a white character, and an Asian character with interchangeable parts so that nobody was stuck with one particular attire or another. And yeah, you can see that they swap at the waist. That was right from the very beginning. I wanted to have that. I wanted them to have multiple interchangeable heads. I wanted them to have different hairstyles with each head. And we could talk about the different hairstyles later, but they come with very slim down attire so that you could add more to them. So this is like, if you scroll back up and you look at them, they're dudes with pants and tank top. That's the canvas. That's the starter pack. That's just the starting point. We have tiers with hoodies and jerseys and even more interchangeable heads to throw in there. At first, we had the alien heads only coming with the deluxe packs, which are behind stretch goals. But now I've included the alien heads to come along with the starter figure packs. So each character will come with an alien head, and they come with 2 sets of hands, fist hands, weapon holding hands, and they each come with 2 weapons. They'll come with a gun, and they'll come with a melee weapon as well. And I have the barbed baseball bat that comes with the logo right over here. And Eon comes with a sword, which I left in the garage because, I brought it. I got it right here. So there's a sword right there that comes with Eon, and they both come with the same pistol. And yeah, those deluxe packs, I think they really take the figures to another level. You can see right here, I've used the deluxe pack on Eon, or Lago. I'm getting my characters' names mixed up, but yeah, that's a Lago right there. And you can see he has a hoodie up and hoodie down feature. So if you don't want the hoodie up the whole time, you can go ahead and swap it with this piece right here. And I'm dropping shit. See, do so many live streams to start dropping my own stuff. Luckily, I have carpet right here, so it's all good. But you can see we have the logo right there with the hoodie down feature being utilized. So this just drapes right over the torso of the figure. And Eon comes with a jersey, so that's another stretch goal. And yeah, I'm really stoked about the alien heads, man. Thank you so much, Brandon. That is a huge compliment. Like, for real, I initially did not want to include the alien heads simply because I didn't think people would want them. Like, I really thought people would just, they're going to discard these alien heads. This is just my own little creative avenue that I really wanted to dive into because after I drew the 4 characters, I felt like it wasn't enough. I wanted to add something extra to it. And I came up with this idea of them being shape-shifting aliens for a story. And I'm like, okay, cool. I could really run with this. I want the silhouettes to look like an animal, but the face itself does not look like that animal. So Alago doesn't have bat wings where he could fly or any of that. They're not animals.
That'd be interesting, though.
Yeah. So I wanted to get, a cool story and seize the opportunity to write a story about these characters and how they come to Earth. And, they like the basic template is very common. Aliens trying to take over Earth. But from then on, like the details of the story are very complicated, and I want there to be some depth to these characters and their motive and what they're trying to do. You know, like Eon is the one, he's the antagonist of the story. So you can see, and this would be available in the basic figure pack. $28, by the way. Getting that price point down like that, that's something that, you know, it's not very common that you see Kickstarters like this being able to come out just with a starter figure at that price point, you know?
Well, I would like to say, I don't want to cut you off. Like, I
No.
think the fact that you did decide to move the alien heads into the starter, you didn't adjust the price, you added huge value just to the initial offering. And it just leaves more options to have fun with them. Like, even if like that's the only two you get, like now you get a lot more fun added to it. You didn't change the price or anything like that. And I thought that was a really cool move that you made.
Thank you. Yeah, it throws a little bit more risk on my end, you know, but it's like, to me, it's worth the risk that people want them. Like that means so much to me. I heard somebody say something like how are you going to leave out the most interesting thing of the line? Like that's the coolest part, and you're not going to include it in the figure. I'm like, oh, you think that's the coolest part? Ah, that's awesome. Like that's a compliment through anger. But I was like, no, that's so sick. Like I'm happy to include them. I just didn't think you wanted them. So I feel like the ugly nerd that's getting, you know, the flirtatious look from the hottest girl in the room. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what you want my alien heads? Oh, I'm gonna give you alien heads then. All right, so I'm good to go.
So I want to bring up something. So on your tour, you popped into the 3POA podcast, and one of the questions that was brought up in the chat, I'm going to bring it up here because it's being asked again, is you chose camo for a particular reason, and the question that came up was, you know, jeans are more of a natural thing. You go outside right now, go out your front door, you're gonna find somebody in jeans, shorts, regular jeans, something in jeans related. Is there something that let's go into the future? This gets funded, 100% done. Is there a plan in place to add like jeans to these characters?
Well, we have blue jeans set for the Eros character already. So my whole plan was that all 4 of these would get made. I wanted all 4 of them to get unlocked so that they would all be available and people could just pick and choose which character that they wanted. And I like the camo pants, the khaki pants, the black pants, and the blue pants. Like I like all 4. So it wasn't necessarily a choice made where I thought like, oh, this is the very best, so I'm running with this. I liked them all. I liked all 4 of them the same. And I've actually, since that interview, I did a mock-up and I photoshopped the pants. Like, you know, that main image I have of the 2 characters jumping at each other?
Yeah.
I photoshopped an image and I gave Alago black pants instead of the camo pants. And I gave Eon blue pants instead of the khaki color. Yeah, that kind of powder blue color. And they looked cool to me, but they didn't look like outlandishly cooler. And I'm curious to know, and I'm probably going to host a poll because nothing's in production right now. Like it's not really too late to change any of that. Like if I wanted to change these to black and blue jeans, I could do that. And to me personally, I don't really have a problem doing that aside from potentially losing backers for making that move.
So here's my follow-up question. As I said, I have not seen Ted's question, so everything I'm asking you is just straight off the dome piece.
Sure.
So you've made currently one adjustment to the Kickstarter. You've extended it another week and a half, 2 weeks, I believe.
7 days.
So another week. And within that move, you also added the alien head pack. Now, what I can tell from that initial move, you made some movement onto the Kickstarter itself. So the question that I have is, what about just saying unlock everything? Unlock it all. Let the people choose. Not like I said, you have like this figure right here, which it comes with kind of like that powder blue jeans that a lot of people are starting to talk about that they want. Unlock it. Let the people choose the figures and the pieces that they want. Because I think, and this is just my opinion, take it for what it's worth. You give them that option, I can see that needle moving much quicker than where we are right now at 7 days to go, or 15 days, or however many days that it says it's left. But I'm just a guy on the internet hosting a show. Put that in the mind piece if that's something that you think would help move this piece along. Because I want to see it get funded. I have a shop. I want to be able to provide it to the people. But I think that's a move that I thought a lot of people would like to see happen to help. Because buying 2 or 3, 4 of your base figures, sure, you can mix and match to only a certain point. Now you add this figure in, you add in something else, like whatever else is to it. Now you're building a true army of people of different variations, opposed to logging them behind paywalls and hoping that we get there. Let's just break down the paywall. Say, look, here they all are. What do you want? So, and then if you got something in the background, some other cool things that you want to add to it, then let's say, okay, here's the tier. At X number, you get, I don't know. I'm just blowing smoke up my ass now, but you get some cool, some weapons, or you get I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass now, but you get. I hope you kind of get the point where I'm going here.
I am 100% with you. I just don't have an extra $60,000 to pay for it. I have those goals all set up to what it's going to cost from the factory, so they're staggered. So let's say I do that. I say, you know what, you guys, here's all 4 of them available right out the gate. And the project gets backed at $120,000, which, by the way, is already less than what the actual funding goal is. So if it hits that funding goal, some of it's coming out of pocket already. That's not the true funding goal. The true funding goal is more than that. So now, if we hit 120 and it just gets backed at 120, now I'm short about 60 grand.
So I want to bring up Ace's comment. If you don't,
that's a big problem some people get themselves into when they do these things. Oops, I jinxed it. No, I jinxed it. I accidentally hit the Infinity Gauntlet. But that's part of the issue here, is that the funds to make that happen, because they're not being molded in the same plastic.
Sure.
Not the same mold being used over. It's not the same plastic being used every time. So the process of cleaning out the tooling and going through another run.
So I guess kind of the point that I was making is, I mean, 120,000. That's just the bare minimal goal. That's just to say this can get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. You do, and I was saying, I don't know anything about how this process works, so don't take my opinion on this.
We're dumb guys. We don't know anything about that stuff.
But unlocking all this and letting the people choose, you're taking a potential 120,000 that you're trying to hit, and you could probably push that 150, 175,000. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I could be completely wrong, but that's just me. But what Ace is saying here is, pardon his 2 cents, in my opinion.
It's going to push people away, though. Just to respond to that, is that's another thing you got to be careful with, is that the first time I did this, the funding goal was way too high, and I just had everything there. Sure. So there's a little bit of a clench factor, because I already took that beating. So I have to dial things down, and for the most part, projects like this have around a $100,000 funding goal to them. So if I kick that funding goal way too high, now I'm pushing people away.
So I mean, I'm not saying move the goal, keep the goal 120,000. That's fine. I'm saying is give the people the option to buy what they want on this round, because at the end of the day, you have 12 days to go, and you're maybe about 30%, 33% to your funding goal. What do you have to lose at this point? With 12 days, you can make a massive impact, at least to move the needle closer to that 120,000. But to what Ace is saying here, he, in his opinion, and I want to leave it at that, is that the 4 characters should have been a part of the initial campaign. He was because having more SKUs already I can't say that word of the body tooling while having a couple more heads and parts. So what he's saying, he should just, in his mind, is you should have just put them all together and just took away the initial the more adding of tooling to future pieces that you're trying to unlock. Just do it all at one time.
Yeah, again, the cost for the extra figures, that doesn't change. Like, there's still those price differences for adding the other characters for me to make those other characters. So there's a fear in me coming out only with, like, if it closes at 120, right? And I have to make those 4 figures. I'm literally basically what would happen there is I would not be able to afford to make what they paid for, and I can't do that to people. I can't put you guys in a situation, or put myself in a situation where I'm promising something that I cannot deliver on. So I wish I could. I'm right there with all of you. I want all 4 of them more than you do. Believe me, I want them more than anybody else. But I don't want to make promises I can't keep. And if I keep that funding goal at 120 and I have all 4 characters there and this thing and the project funds just at 120 or 130, then I'm screwed and I won't be able to deliver on what I'm promising. And I'm not going to play that kind of game. I'm not going to do that. I will give you what I tell you I can give you.
I'm gonna pull up a question that I think we can answer pretty easily. I'm gonna try to get this back on track. The worst part about running a business is, everybody telling you how to run your business. But I just want to throw this up for Tim just to clarify. So he's asking, what do you mean by the 120K isn't enough? I think what you meant was that it wasn't enough for all 4. It's just enough for the initial 2. Is that correct?
It's still a little bit more than that to just get the initial 2. So some of it's coming out of my pocket as well, on top of everything else that I've spent money on. So, 120 is me even lowering it from where it actually is some to make it look more desirable. So, but I can afford that. I could afford that difference there.
Yeah, you're investing into your business.
I'm investing in my own business. So I can afford that, but I'm not going to make that gap so big to the point where I can't afford it. And then now I'm in serious trouble. And I don't want to mess with you guys like that. I respect the community way too much to play that kind of game. And a lot of other Kickstarter projects have fallen victim to that. And that's where I think you hear a lot of people like going into crazy debt. They overpromise. And that's one thing that the project manager has told me, that I've been doing a really good job about being financially responsible with the project. I'm taking a lot of care into that. Again, I'm not going to promise something that I can't deliver on.
No, that's perfectly. I understand that part.
Yeah. So you're saying the 120 plus a piece you already have, you're investing into your business. We understand that completely. Like, I mean, we ship out stuff every day. I mean, we personally pay for boxes. We personally pay for packing supplies because it's better for us to take the money that we're getting and reinvesting it back into something else, as opposed to eating that cost all the time and slowing down our progress. So, like, we personally put money into our business every single day. So I can understand.
Yeah, you have to. You have. I mean, like, there's like no. I don't think there's any business that is really doing that where they're not putting their own money into it. You got to, or at least at some point anyway.
Well, we're gonna come back to questions, and like I want to emphasize to the chat, like we're not trying to crap on Shartimus or give him a hard time or anything. Like, if you have a legitimate question,
these are great questions.
Yeah,
questions.
We want to ask them. We just want to make sure everybody's being respectful about it. So.
Oh yeah, let's see what it looks like. I haven't even looked over there.
they're it's not crazy. They're just
I'm out.
A lot of questions in there. Did you? I don't even know where we were. Did you want to keep talking about the project a little bit more, or do you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's answer more questions.
Sure.
I like the questions. I mean, you guys should know at this. I mean, if there's, and probably the questions may help me explain what I have available too.
Absolutely.
All right, so Robert's Infinite Realms. Here's a question. Some of the accessory packs are stretch goals, but I feel a few of them should be an add-on to the base offering. I think funding would move faster, just me speaking.
Same exact situation. It's going to cost me extra money to make those. So as add-ons, yeah, they would help move things forward. But if the project only funds at 120, same thing, offering something that I can't promise I could deliver on.
Fat Red
extra you ask for, money's got to go into it. Anything else you want, that's what I'm saying is it's on me. You know what I mean? The alien heads, adding that in there is not just for free.
Well,
it's just not going to kill the project.
Ace, who is I think maybe still in the chat, said something similar. He goes, nothing's free. Like all this stuff, costs money. Because when he was showing his stuff, they're like, "Oh, you should add this. You should add this." And he's like, "Well, maybe I can, but it's gonna, change the offer amount." So.
Exactly.
Future plans. Whether the Kickstarter provides this line or another avenue presents itself. Are there female versions planned in this particular line?
Not for this particular round, but yes, for Street Humans in general. Actually, like day one, when I drew out these 4 characters, on the next page was a sketch of a female figure. So from the beginning, I wanted to have female figures. Like this is initially just to fill out collections with civilians. So of course, I'm thinking of women also. And I would love to do that, but it would be too much stuff in one project. So it would have to be a completely different project to have female Street Humans.
Okay. Robert also follows up another question with I'm going to say the alien aspect is the part that interests me. I think the idea is interesting and has merit. Them transforming into humans is a bonus.
Nice. Yeah.
So a lot of the comments, like I said, I don't have a lot of them started. I mean, I try to focal point some of these, and then the ones that were popping up are like the ones I want to show to you right now. But a lot of people seem to be very interested in what you're working on. But there's a lot of back end questions that they have as to we're at this weird spot. Like I said, and I think you felt a little back end pressure in your own self by adding in those alien head packs. You wanted to add a little something more to entice those who have supported you up to this point. And say, hey, I'll take that little bit off my back end to add something to these core figures.
And I'm passionate about them. Like I'm really passionate about the alien heads and the story behind it. So it's like, yeah, if people are interested. It's like, oh, I especially want them to have it. But I'm sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good, man. Tony Horton was asking, what advice would you give someone who wants to start their own Kickstarter for action figures? Where do you start? How much should you expect to spend to fund your dream? Now, some of this I don't expect you to drop all the knowledge bomb. If there's some numbers that you can't say, ballpark it. But I'll let you divulge what you would like.
I mean, it's not 10K, but it should be at least 10K. Like to try to have something, you know what I mean? Like I thought it would be closer to 5K, and then it's turned into something a lot more, it's think 10K ballpark. It could be less. I'm sure it could be less depending on the project, but think 10K ballpark. If just to never see again, like pretend you've started a drug habit and you just want to put $10,000 into nothingness. That's what it feels like because you don't see anything back. I'm still not seeing anything back. You know what I mean? It's just all throwing into this thing. But think in that range, somewhere in there. I'm sure it could be less for some people. Definitely more for most, I think. To be honest with you, I think for most it's more. But that's the ballpark figure you should be kind of looking at. And then what was the other part? Where to start?
Where do you start?
Do you expect to spend your? Yeah, so I mean, it all starts with you. So if you can draw, start drawing. Get your ideas on paper. Get a book. Get a sketchbook. That's what I have. I have a sketchbook. It's like not all of it is dedicated to Street Humans, but like that much of it is just like all Street Humans sketches and notes from various meetings. But yeah, keep like a journal or one place where you can have all your information, so that when you go back into your next meeting, you have those numbers, so that those numbers don't change on you, and you have a reference. You know what I mean? Because and then also you got to be patient. You have to be patient. People get busy. You can't take offense to people not getting back to you when you want to. You know what I mean? Just always assume people want to reply, they're just busy. It's kind of easy to fall into like, oh man, I sent an email 2 days ago and they haven't gotten back. They're busy. They'll get back to you, or find ways to nudge them without getting rude or taking anything personal. Don't take anything personal. That's like, for me, it's especially easy to not think that way, because I already have a recognized persona out there. So everybody I've spoken to in the industry knows who I am already, which is kind of weird. It's like, oh, I don't. It's kind of, that part of it's been kind of crazy. So like for me, it's easy to not think negative thoughts about people I'm working with, because they already know who I am. They've already expressed their enthusiasm to work with me. So that part's fine. But yeah, you just want to be patient with people. Everyone's got their own workload. People are busy, man. So don't take things personal.
Awesome. This is a two-part question. Well, one's they're kind of more comments, but I want to kind of tag them both together here. Star Lord 15 agrees with what the chat was saying about making the camo to jean switch. The camo color pattern is very unique and will look weird on a group of all same pants. But then James Lucas follows that up with, I really like the jeans. And this is because he likes making custom. So you give those customizers with that blue jean look some option to kind of really play with how to really make your design kind of theirs, but then just more option. That's kind of how I looked at it.
My only problem, I swear, my only problem with making that switch would be upsetting backers.
Sure.
So I need to host a poll, and I need to get some real feedback. But I would be willing to make that change, because I love these figures too much to not get them made. Like, I really do like all four pants. You know what I mean? So to me, there's no personal ego in the way of doing it. I just don't want to disappoint the people that have already backed the project.
Oh, nope, definitely understand that. Northern Nomad, I drop knowledge on the people, so just they know.
Almighty.
That's all I got for the moment. If you want to carry on,
Yeah, sure. Awesome. So let me share this screen again.
So Matthew's saying, and Matthew's been a long time viewer, change the camo to the blue jeans. You know what? If it would just take that, how many people would just back the Kickstarter, right? See, how much of a deal breaker is that for people? Like, I would really want to know, because to me, it's like, I am going to have a limited number of these figures made. If I get a shot to make another run, I want to go with a different color camo pants. I want to get a different color tan, maybe brown instead of like the tan khaki color. And my plan for like blue jeans, instead of like a powder blue color, I would go for like a navy blue color. Instead of black jeans, do gray jeans. Like, I want to have a variety of pants out there. So from my perspective, it's like, oh, this is just one of many to come along. But if people, like, I would really like to know how many people would like to see the switch of black and blue from the camo and tan.
And then we'll throw this up from Patrick real quick. He says, Shartimus, it's great to hear your voice, direct, honest, candor, and love how much you care about your supporters' opinions. So, I mean, I think that's important. That's your baby, but also, you want to make the customer happy.
Yeah, and that all runs to an extent. You know what I mean? If people wanted to say something like, "Oh, you should take off 2 of the eyes of a logo. He should have 4 eyes instead of 6 eyes." Like something like that would be like, man, it's my freakish alien design. Leave me alone. Like I want to go nuts with it. I want it to have 6 eyes instead of 4 eyes. Like something like that, I would probably, you know, be a little bit more firm on. But with something like, you know, something that's a little bit more out there that kind of plays with the actual main function of the line, which is to have army builders, well then yeah, of course I'm going to reconsider that for sure.
When you started this, did you think you were gonna have to talk about pants so much?
No, not at all. Like, no, like because the most I've talked about with the pants is like the deco count for the camo pants. You know what I mean? So it makes things a little bit. That's the hardest. That's another reason why this is the hardest one to make. So that's like one of the reasons why, you know, I wanted it to be one of the first ones, but it's definitely not a deal breaker on my end to do that, to change it up at all. Like I'm definitely open to that. I just don't want to disappoint a lot of people that think they're buying camo pants, and then all of a sudden, you know, with 13 days to go, they're like, oh, what? No camo pants? It's going to be this instead? How many people are going to be upset about that? That's the info I really need, is how many people are going to be upset about the change? How many people are going to get excited about the change? I mean, I'd like to see some reactions in the comment section. Who's on the fence? Is there somebody out there in the comments right now who's on the fence, but if they heard that the camo and tan was changing to black and blue, would you jump on the Kickstarter immediately, or would you not?
Yeah, let's put up some real numbers, guys. Like everybody's, you know, talking about the pants, but if that means you'll back it because of the pants, let's hear it.
So Mr. Wonderful said, I mean, he's just one person, but you know, having a black or blue jeans, he'd back 2 to 4 figures himself.
But he hasn't backed any yet. Okay.
I mean that part I can't help, but you know, hey.
Yeah.
I like the camo, but I see where people are coming from with the banter of both sides.
See, here's the other thing is that, and not to and where did I leave my phone? Hold on a second. Well, anyway, I don't have my phone with me. That's weird. I usually have my phone with me all the time, but I took some screenshots of the Spider-Man 2 game. And there's one of the goons in the Spider-Man 2 game looks just like my Alago figure. It's a black dude with the camo pants and the white tank top. And he's got a ski mask on, but it's like, to me, it kind of validated the use of that design because I'm seeing it in the game right there, right in front of my face. But again, if there's a huge swath of potential backers that are like, hey, black jeans or nothing, and that's a bigger group than camo pants or nothing, then I'm gonna go with group black pants, you know.
So Greg pulls up to do 2 different polls. Now I'm gonna answer this my way, and if you want to add on to that, my only problem with this is having a poll to the closed backers and then having one to everyone is you're not getting the feedback's weird because you got the backers who've already supported so far, you know, this project saying we've already committed to this one.
Right.
I would rather just say if you're going to do a poll, you open that poll to every single person, including the people who backed it, because maybe the people who backed it are like, well, maybe I will do more, or maybe I won't. I mean, you just got to look at it in that weird sideways look at it. Don't separate the 2 polls. Have the one, because I think that's where the true feedback that you're looking for is going to come from.
Well, why not do both? I don't see the harm in doing both, because ideally that's what I actually was thinking about doing was to do one on the Kickstarter page, like have a poll, just because you got to understand, like, while I appreciate everybody in the community, like I want everybody to jump in on this thing, I have like a special admiration or gratitude for those who have already backed the project, you know? So I'm very thankful for those individuals. So I want to respectfully, like, directly ask them and warn them that there might be a change like this if they're up for it. They're already on the ship, and then they're already on board. So if we're going to steer the ship, I want them to know it. Also, doing a public one I think that would also be really good to do as well, so that you can get everybody's voice thrown into one.
Well, I'm just saying that if you're doing a public poll, the public poll includes the people who've already backed it. You're having a poll for people who've backed it. Then you're taking that same poll to everyone. You're dipping in two pots with two different groups. Just have the one.
I'm narrowing it down. So it's like you have the big one for everybody to see, and then having the one on just the Kickstarter. Now I'm narrowing it down to who's really the most favorable towards the camo pants. And if it's too small, then that's going to help me. If it's really, really small, then that's going to help me with my overall decision making. So I'm just narrowing it down by doing both.
And I want to throw this up. Fat Red Foo says, Shart, I think it's great you're putting yourself out there and showing everyone what you're offering. It's not an easy thing to do. It's very easy to fall into the death by committee situation. And Shartimus, I also agree with what you're saying in regards to the pants thing. Like, if people are just out here bitching about pants just to bitch about pants, that's one thing. But if it's legitimately like, I'm not backing this because of pants, then be loud and proud about it. Say, I will back this if those pants change. But if you're just like, well, I don't like those fucking pants, but you're not backing it, you haven't backed it, then like, cool, great feedback. But if it's not going to change your opinion,
don't just find a reason to not do it. That's like some people will try to like, oh, I found a thing. I found a thing.
But there's always a thing.
Instead of G. But to be honest with you, though, I did do a mock-up. I already did a mock-up of it, and I could actually, you know what? Let me see if I could send it to you. Let me see if I could send you the mock-up, and then you could just show it off. Because to me, I was like, hey, I like seeing the blue jeans, but like to me, it wasn't a deal breaker. Like trying to like close myself off from myself and imagine myself as a random collector. Like to me, it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, that's a winner. That's the winner right there. That's been, behind the scenes that should have been out there for everybody to see. It didn't blow my mind. It didn't really kick it over the edge for me personally, but pardon me. Let's see if I could find it really quick.
While you do that, Greg, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. I'm just voicing my particular opinion. But I mean, I see the difference. If it's going to pull the numbers and the info that's needed, perfect. Let's get these numbers. Because like I said, with 12 days to go, I mean, I'm not assuming that you're going to try to extend this further. But
it can't.
You got a short window to get a lot of information down to kind of move that needle.
So that's just a mock-up right there. I just sent it to you guys. And the black is a little extra dark on the pants to hide the camo pattern, but it kind of gives a rough idea. And to me, I like having more color. Like, I immediately think to myself that I miss the camo pants, but it's like, or maybe just change the camo to the tan. I don't know. Let's see if that's
I'm pulling it up right now here. There we go. Can we see that? Is that okay? Maybe
just change the camo to tan, or I don't know. But it's like, okay, to me, that's not wowing me. Like, oh, that's visually what should have been the promo image. You know what I mean? I like seeing the blue pants. Like the blue does look really cool, but at the same time, I feel like it loses something not having the camo there. Or maybe the camo, maybe change one to blue and the other one to tan. Keep it blue and tan. Like keep the tan, swap the camo for the blue jeans. That's a possibility too.
So a Punk with Toy has a question. I don't know if you have the info to answer this question. I mean, I can answer on our end because I do know this number. But his question was, how do the numbers from BBTS add to the funding goal? Are they adding weekly, daily? Do you know that part?
Well, I know they're doing it towards the end, so it's going to be later.
So they won't even up. So really, the number that's on the Kickstarter right now is just people who've gone through the website themselves. That is not including BBTS. That is not including Nerdzoic. And as of right this second, we have not updated our numbers. Some of ours are in there, but just not all of them.
Okay, cool.
So that number is not even really real time.
No, it's not. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we did get a new backer, so I gotta thank you very much, you guys. Yeah,
There it is.
There's got to be somebody out there taking these clips of me on the various live streams doing that. There's got to be someone.
You're gonna get it turned into a meme.
Yeah, I have seen a meme before. Remember that one where I fell on my ass? I think they didn't really make a meme out of that, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind being mean.
So I mean, through the comments, there's some that like the camo, there's some that like the jeans. I'd say there's probably
how do you guys
in between both.
So I would like to know how you guys personally feel. You cannot, offend me. These are your honest opinions. So I'm curious to know what each of you think, just to help gauge things.
Aaron, you want to go first? I know you do.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I don't care. If it's something that I'm interested in, I want it. Does the pants make a difference? Not 100%. Do I like options? Yes, that I do like. So whether it's initial offering, if it's somewhere where it becomes available, sure. I don't know. It's a weird fine line where I'm torn because, like I said, I see both sides of it.
So you're indifferent. So that's how
I don't want to say that I'm indifferent. I mean, because I definitely am different, but like I have no problem backing the initial product that's in front of my face right now. That is the offer. This is what you get. Love it or leave it. Do I like the jeans option? Sure. I wear jeans all the time. So I like that side of it, but that's not the offer. So that becomes irrelevant into the opinion of mine, whether of which one I personally want. Now, if you had said at some point during this introductory part of the Kickstarter that there is a option where you the backer can choose, here's the base figure, this is Elago, this is Eon, you choose, do you want camo, do you want black jeans, do you want blue jeans, do you want shorts? Like, that turns into a whole new conversation. Because now you and I understand the cost and all that goes behind that takes that off the table. But I'm saying if you're asking me, that's what I would want. Okay,
well, let me ask you this: camo, blue jeans, khakis, or black jeans? Pick two.
Oh man,
that's what I'm basically. And I'm gonna ask Ted same question. You have blue jeans, black jeans, camo pants, or khaki. Pick two.
I'll answer that, and I'll answer the first question first. So, in regards to the overall thing, like, I agree. Like, I'm back it as is. That is what the offering is. It's cool. Now, my goal in mind, especially if I was trying to buy a lot of them, would try to get all four. So I do have variety. And in regards to the pants, I'll throw up what TC here is saying. If I were a toy photographer and those were the only two that I could get, having a bunch of the guys in the same pants, like that changes things a little bit. If I had the choice of pants, like if you're like, hey man, you can have whatever pants you want, I would probably go with jeans and khaki. That is my personal opinion, but the pants that they're wearing is not stopping me from backing the project. Like, I don't give two fucks about that.
Yeah, the black jeans and the tan, I agree with Star-Lord. I mean, if you said just the option, I would say tan and black.
Okay.
But I also have an entire closet of black clothes, so that's just me.
Yeah, no, I wear mostly black, like pretty much all the time. I only wear black jeans, like that's all that I wear, pretty much. I don't wear anything else but black.
Should have changed the title to "Take Your Pants Off" or something. Like,
Take your pants off and jacket. Off.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Choosing, like, I like this. This really does help. The tan and black jeans, I'm leaning towards the blue jeans and tan. I'm kind of liking that,
and that's also a great option.
I'm kind of leaning towards. But
so is this a poll that we could see possibly live tomorrow? Is that something that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm gonna post this up tomorrow because there's only so much time left. And if I'm making this change, the other thing that I feel really weird about also is like it. How do I don't really have. I can't paint over this. Like I'm kind of stuck with the prototypes that I have. So I would have to kind of resort back to 3D renders for the promo images, which would be kind of disappointing because, you know, I have these very expensive prototypes here. So it's kind of, and then how the logistics of informing all of the people who put pre-orders in, not just on your site, but on BBTS and on Nerdzoic, that's going to be fairly complicated getting the word out. And how many people, I mean, I guess at that point, if I do decide to make that change, how many people are going to, you know, I would by then have already assessed how many people are going to back or drop out. But I think it's going to create quite a bit of problems for something that I don't think is a huge deal breaker for most. I don't think it's a huge, while preferred for a lot, I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker for most people. I don't know, but we'll find out. I'll do some polling and get a better idea. But for real, when I see it, I'm like, it still looks awesome to me the way it is. I still really like how they look, especially after watching playing the Spider-Man 2 game, seeing street humans in action in the game with the camo pants. Sick. See, this is
I got it on the system right here.
Right? You've seen the street humans in your game, right? Right there.
It sounds like the toy photographers are saying that they're missing out on buying multiples. I think that's what it is, because, you know, everyone wearing the same pants, you know, then it doesn't blend in the background as much. And I think that's just kind of the consensus that I'm getting from that group of people. I don't know if necessarily the normal casual toy collector, if it means that.
You'd have the same issue if you're going to have that issue no matter what color the pants are. Like you're going to have a whole bunch of characters wearing black pants or a whole bunch of characters wearing blue pants. You know what I mean? Like usually, like if I'm meeting up with my friends, we usually have different colored pants, I guess. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to their pants that much. So
the general consensus says, with you being 2 weeks out, just stay the course. You're kind of in that you can't you change it now. It's not going to affect. It may not affect. I'm gonna say may not affect much, but
yeah, I don't think it's as much of a pivotal move as adding the alien heads. I feel like this is a bigger move than changing the pants. If it was a bigger deal, if it was more detrimental to the overall line, then I would put more weight into it. But at this point, I feel like I really do think all four look cool, and I think everyone's going to be happy with them, with the camo pants, because there's going to be. I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, like the camo pants could be used. You could mix those in with your Joes or your Valaverse figures a little bit easier too, if you wanted to. If you wanted to have kind of like broken down, chill versions of those characters, you could pop, you know, those heads on to the figure, and you could incorporate them into your army figures if you want to do that. You could do that with your military figures anyway. I shouldn't say just army, but military figures, you could fit them in there too.
So I have a hard-hitting question, which, like I said, I don't know if this is on Ted's list to you, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
I haven't gotten to any of those.
That's what makes this interview even better. I'm sure you've thought about this, as now, like I said, we're 12 days away. If this doesn't fund, what's next for Shartimus Prime?
That was a question. Good job.
Do we go back to the drawing board? Do we take the feedback from all the shows you've been on?
Oh yeah.
Come up with a new plan and reintroduce the Kickstarter? Because as we know, Kickstarters don't always fund right away. It takes some tweaking. It takes some brainstorm sessions, and you've been on almost 10 of them. Including this one.
And more to come too. So if anyone out there has a live stream they want to talk street humans, hit me up on DM via Instagram. I'm down to do more of these, especially with the extension. I have a little bit more room available to do even more of these. So yeah.
And okay, we wanted the fun. I hope it does.
Thank you.
But I'm also optimistic. I want to know what's in your mind. Like, what does the future hold on this project if it doesn't hit the mark?
If Thanos snapped him into oblivion, that's how we're gonna phrase it. If Thanos snapped it and there were no street humans.
Yeah, I'm not going to really answer your question, unfortunately, but I do have several backup plans that I'm considering. So, and I've already been talking to the factory about some of these plans. I'm not going to say it now, only because I don't want to put something out there that's not going to happen. So I'm going to keep that behind the scenes in case I have to break that glass, but I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking that it's going to fund. I think a lot of people are just kind of sitting on it, kind of curious about it. I think the more and more I go out there and do these conversations like this, and here's the other thing is that there's not to anyone's real fault, but there's a lot of people out there that kind of think of me in a certain kind of way. And I really think that with me doing these streams, it kind of clears the air on some, on some assumptions that people have made about me also. So I think, with time, as people inform themselves on what kind of person I actually am, then the assumptions that they've made about me or have heard me there's people that have misused video clips of mine and done everything they could to make me look as bad as possible. And I heard you say that and that, and that, look, that was taken out of context. People have, they'll do what they do to clout chase and stuff like that. So I think there's some of that, that I think there's some people that are being converted into understanding how I actually am as a person than to some of the assumptions that have been made about me. Sure. So there's that sitting out there. So I'm thinking very positive, and I know people will come around eventually, and they'll figure out that I'm an honest person and that I'm doing this with passion, and I'm doing this with respect too, because I respect the community. This line is a love letter to the action figure community. I want people to be happy with them, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it possible. So while I do have a plan B, C, and D, I'm really focused on plan A over here, and I think it's going to work.
So Greg basically kind of has said what I was going to say. It's good to have a backup plan. We're glad that there's something which obviously you won't divulge at the moment. We'll hear those plans if it comes across. But it's good to know that there's something in the background.
Well, I've been working on this for the last 3 years. 3 years I've been working on this thing. So what's one more year? You know what I mean? What's
I know you couldn't answer the question, but what it sounds like you're saying is you're not taking this idea and throwing it in the trash if you hit another obstacle. Like it doesn't get back. This isn't done. It's not dead. It's still something.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. There's no quit when you're trying to spell Shartimus Prime. All right, it's just not in there. It's not. You can't spell quit with Shartimus Prime. So I've been doing YouTube for 15 years. You know how much BS I've gone through doing YouTube? How crazy this shit is? Do you guys swear on this? I'm sorry. I don't mean to curse.
No, go ahead. We curse all the time.
You guys curse F-bombs, everything?
Yeah. Say it all. Horrible fucking potty mouths. Yeah. Call them motherfuckers out.
All right. So I have been doing this shit for 15 years, and YouTubing is a brand new, for the longest time, it felt like it was a brand new venture. Now it's a thing. Now hell of people are doing it. I've been doing it when barely anybody was doing it. And for a long time, I've come across Copa. I've had to go through Adpocalypse. I have gone through so many weird ups and downs. This year itself has been pretty crazy too. It's been a very turbulent year. The collecting community has gone through some changes, man. It's it's been crazy, but I don't quit. That's the thing. So I'm not the type to give up on passion. I've been playing drums for 25 years. I've been doing YouTube for 15 years. I'm a long haul motherfucker, dude. I don't quit.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but you have to pull out the gauntlet because Mr. Wonderful says he just backed it.
Oh, right on. Hey, thank you so much. How wonderful, Mr. Wonderful.
He also is just went through a Kickstarter himself. He is the
thank you, Mr. Wonderful. All right, that one was for you. Sorry.
So he creates I didn't mean to interrupt your Thanos scene. He is the creator of Hexastack, and he also asked a question that we missed earlier if there are pegs in there because he makes stackable stands, and that is his business. So he's curious if they will fit on there.
So there's several changes that I need to make, and yeah, one of them is that I did want to add peg holes to the bottom of the feet. They don't right now, but they will.
And
things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our friend Random Diorama, we call him Radnom around here. He said, "Dude, that don't quit speech is the best thing I've heard out of Shart. To be honest, I can dig it." So.
Yeah, been married. It'll be 9. We just had our 9-year anniversary. So,
congratulations.
Yeah. So I stick with, if it comes to something that I'm working with that comes from the heart, I stick with it, man. I mean, you guys have been to the conventions. You see how I am with people in person and how much I enjoy this thing. Like, I really love doing this from day one, man. Before I even had 20 subscribers, the video is still out there where I was talking about trying to connect with people at WonderCon in San Francisco. Like, I just want to talk figures with you, trade figures. If you're out there, we can trade. Like, connecting to the community has always been like a big part of this whole thing for me. And I feel like, going out there and making my own figures, I feel like it's going to do that even more, man. So
I had this message starred. I want to bring it. Sorry, I want to bring this up real quick from Greg.
Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. He says the stretch goals have clothing accessories. Do you always plan those to be plastic like the Legends, or do you ever consider soft goods?
Right, cloth would hide the arm sculpt breaks if the money works. The money would not work. So if I went to cloth goods, we're tipping the scale in a big way. And that would also have to include another factory would have to be included in the manufacturing process, and they would have to ship all of that to the. I mean, you're talking about a lot more money involved here if we were to go that route. So,
well, I wonder if I'm going to take this question maybe differently. Like, is there? I'm talking futurely. Let's just say this thing green lights all the way. Okay. Is there future plans in your mind that you would consider going cloth goods instead of plastic?
Man, I don't want to play with soft goods because I've had so many rip on me. Like, to be honest with you, I'd rather, with this particular toy line, with it being an army builder centric toy line, I really think that the plastic is the best way to go, because I feel like going with soft goods, no matter at what stage I'm at, it's going to kick the price up to a point where it's going to kind of lose the desire to army build them if they're too expensive. And on top of that, there's so many people out there that have soft goods on like Etsy and stuff like that, where you could pick that stuff up cheaper than what I can make them for you. So on top of that, I've had, not so much with Mezco, but with Hot Toys, I've had rips happen with me so many times. Also, the experience is very important for me, that I want you guys to have fun with these figures. It is so much easier to pop these arms off and swap them out and put on a different accessory than to go through that process of needling arms through small
gotta heat them up.
and then and getting that all together, and then you limit your articulation on top of it. So for the purpose of functionality and cost, because I'm not going to BS you in here to say it's just functionality, for functionality and cost, it's better to go with the plastic goods over the soft goods.
All about the villains just says you got another backer. You're 446. Also, Thanos Copter also backed it.
Hey, right on.
That's 2 more that I know of.
Awesome. All right. Oh, I see it at 440. Was Thanos Copter the first one? It's still at 440.
Yeah,
oh, wait, no, there it is. Hey, we got 2 more. All right.
2 more,
there you go. There you go. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Robert, have a good night, man. We'll catch you. We'll catch you later.
445 and 446 right there.
There it is.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Excellent.
All right. Ted?
Okay. Well,
having butterfly joints with interchangeable arms is something I've never seen before. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
But it's like I didn't want this figure line to have the novelty of like, oh, it's a YouTuber. Like YouTubers doing it. Like I really want these figures to sell themselves, and I wanted to bring something new to the table. So having interchangeable arms with butterfly joints is something I've never seen anybody else do. And then aside from an 18-inch Spider-Man figure from 2004, I've never seen anybody else incorporate triple torso articulation. I haven't seen anybody at all incorporate this kind of articulation on a 1/12 scale figure ever. So I'm really trying to go beyond like, oh yeah, he's a YouTuber. He thinks he's going to get all these people backing just because he's got the YouTube. No, I'm doing this because I really wanted to push things forward and not just do the same old, same old. This is extra stuff here. Almost import quality with all the articulations stacked up on these guys.
Awesome. So we talked about what would happen if, Thanos snapped it into oblivion, but let's talk about when this funds. What do the next 5 years look like for you and the line and just your life in general?
Well, I would hope to make more appearances at conventions. Like that's one thing that I would like to sell Street Humans to people at shows and use this as a way to get out there more, to interact with more viewers. I thought that would be a really cool thing to do. Showing up at toy shows, I got my Street Humans with me. And hey, you don't want to buy Street Humans, you just want to say hi, that's fine too, but I'll be selling these figures. Convention, so these are made to be army builders. They're also developed in a way, and I've talked to the factory about this from the beginning, is I want to be able to have variants. I want to be able to have exclusive figures here. So I want to have a lot of variety. That's something that I'm seeing in the future with what we already have here, variations. Yes, we have a black hoodie, but wouldn't it be cool to have a purple hoodie, or different color hoodies, a blue hoodie? Like there's all kinds of different colors we could run with. This is only the beginning. Once we have the tooling together, we can apply all kinds of different colors and variations to these figures. That's something that would go for the next couple of years, at least. So hopefully, after that runs its course and I get my deluxe packs out there, I also have accessory pack ideas for just heads. Like having a set of motorcycle helmet heads, ski mask heads, nylon mask heads together in a set. That would be really cool. So we have all kinds of accessory pack ideas, that I would like to have released out there. Things go exceptionally well, you know what I mean? Maybe change the way I present those accessories. And then a few years down the line, we'd be able to get another Kickstarter rolling for the female figures. Okay. So I would be able to use profits made from this line and put that money into a new line so I could get female figures made and have all kinds of different accessories from there. I have an idea for a wave 3. I would call that the Gordo wave, something like that. Big dudes, chunky guys.
Yeah.
So
Fat Boy Fall starting right now, baby.
Hey man, I don't know what it is, but where did you go, Ned? Where's my Ned? He's right over here. Come on, Ned. Where are you? But I know my Ned figure, or is his last name Leeds in the movies?
While you're looking for that, James Lucas is saying he sees your passion and really hopes it funds for you. If I could squeeze any money out in the next check, he'll be in.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, you can go ahead and back now, and then when the Kickstarter is running up and if it's a bad time to support a Kickstarter, then you could cancel your pledge. You don't lose anything. But if you guys back now, you could back out later if you need to. I don't want people, missing their mortgage payments or anything because they back Street Humans.
Time.
You just got another one. So.
Hey,
Time to-
Axion! Thank you so much. Right on. Man, you guys are asking really, really good questions, by the way. I really do appreciate it. All right. Axion, there you go. 447.
There it is.
All right. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are asking great stuff. So yeah, keep them coming for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we watched a lot of the streams. We wanted to hit the questions that no one either wanted to ask or afraid to ask, or I don't know. We just like getting to those questions that we want to, like, people I think are thinking but just don't want to say it.
Well, also, when we had you here, we also don't want you answering the same thing that you've said 1,000 times. Like, I'm sure you're tired of repeating it. Like, I know it's exciting. Like, heck yeah, I get to talk about this project, but I mean, you got to be fucking exhausted, dude. Like, it's been like a month of this, and you're doing 2 or 3 streams a day. And so, yeah, a little variety in the questions doesn't hurt,
No, but they're really good, honest questions, though, too. Like, that I like them.
Radnom says, I think this interview has been very humanizing for Shartimus. Like, it shows a different side of you that people maybe don't get to see. Well, they see the YouTube presence you, or the con version of you. Like, this is a whole new side that a lot of people don't get to see that often.
Right. And I've kind of inadvertently, not on purpose, but it's like I want my YouTube channel to be about having fun. So I put it on a little bit, you know what I mean? And for the most part, I am really genuinely happy talking about whatever I'm talking about. But I can understand how some of the enthusiastic, hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, we're doing and like it could be overwhelming, or maybe people could see that as it not being true and trying to play extra enthusiastic for the sake of getting views and stuff like that. But I really am like that. I've been told to shut up by a lot of my friends for my over enthusiasm and geeking out. Like, I really geek out like that. I really can be loud and boisterous and over enthusiastic, but I can understand how that's not very humanizing.
I got another question here that I wanted to bring up. I meant to bring it up. It kind of got lost in the shuffle, but I'll bring it up now. Star Lord 15 wants to know. I'm curious if the timing of the Kickstarter, in between all the HasLabs and other things that have popped up, do you think the timing was just not right for this to be in where it was at? Coincidental? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Okay, so I planned for this to launch at this time over a year ago. So this wasn't like a thing that, and I came to the realization, especially talking to people like Dave Bonner and everybody else I've like worked with tightly on the project manager and Dave Bonner. If I let myself get overwhelmed with what other people are doing, I will never have a release date. Like, because there are certain major things that, I could try to dodge, and look out for. But as far as like paying so close attention, like I would never launch if I was concerned with what everybody else is doing. Because, okay, well, what's happening in November? Aren't there other campaigns going on out there? Like, there's always something happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do see it as something that's working against me, having so many projects out there all at once, right?
Yep. So you had the Ghost, you had Giant Man.
Yeah.
There was something before that.
Cyberzoic, the Legendary, the Giant Man, all that stuff happening at once, and I can't. And so what am I going to do? Am I going to cancel a second time? No. I just have to rely on the product. Like I said, I'm not relying on my YouTube status or any of that for these things to get backed. This is what I'm relying on, the figures themselves, and that's where the focus is. So whether there's a giant man out there or whatever, I think people are going to want these regardless.
Fair enough. Also, I want to say what's up to a viewer of ours, Big Bacon.
Big Bacon.
Bacon stacks to the max. Cook your pork up. Pick your fork up. I love it. Big Bacon's a great guy.
I like bacon. Did he? Was that a Hasidic Jew logo with the bacon comment? Am I tripping?
I don't know what. I thought he was just.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, I saw. No.
It reminds me more of a Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
reminds me of Breaking Bad.
I see that too.
Yeah, I saw the black markings towards the bottom left side. It looked like. Okay,
Got it.
Never mind. All right. I was say, man, not cool, but all right.
No, yeah, Big Bacon's had that logo for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think he's much of a worldly fella to care that much.
Do we have a Christmas promo coming up?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm
we're trying to get through October first.
we're just trying to live our lives, Adam. Well, so I want to do more questions from the chat, but first I kind of want to go to one of these questions in here, and I guess you've touched on it a little bit. So you, to my knowledge, are the biggest toy YouTuber around, with 645K subs right now, which is an insane number, dude. That is an insane number, because you look at the Fwoosh and you look at Pixel Dan, and both of them combined barely make it to you. Like, you are the top dog in here, and that number just blows my mind. It's a lot of fucking subs, and I know you've been doing it for 15 years, but that also makes you, being on the top, the target for a lot of shit. And you were kind of touching on that a little bit briefly. So how do you handle the negativity? Because as you grow, so do your trolls. And I know you've been on tour and you've been in a lot of live streams, and there's been a lot of crap in chats, and I'm sure you get stupid stuff in your comments all the time. How do you deal with that? How do you not take that personally? Because I'm just like a Scorpio. I would just rage out at everybody. I don't know if I could control myself.
He messages me after every show.
God damn it, I hate these people. So have you just
he really doesn't. He love you all.
Have you grown a thick skin, or does it still get to you every now and then?
So it's where do you put your attention? Like it's where do you want to focus? It's up to each and every one of us to decide where we go next with our focus, right? Whatever you do next, it's up to you to do that. So let's say Matthew says something I don't like, right? I could sit here and think about what Matthew just wrote, or I could put my mind towards the thought that I'm very lucky to be here on this stream right now. Sure. It depends on how I look at it. I could let myself be angry or frustrated with something, or I could allow myself to think in a way where I'm very grateful. It's all about directing where you steer your own emotions, and that's a skill in itself to be able to do that. I had something like that happen with me earlier today, where I was like, someone was calling me a homophobe in a live stream this morning, and I was like, great. How defensive am I going to get about that? My wife got pretty upset about seeing that, because she knows that's the furthest thing from the truth. So maybe address it. You know what I mean? I think that, for certain things that upset you, or if you think someone is saying something false about you, that's a straight up lie, then maybe address that, if you think it's worth it, but only to a certain extent, and then move on. Because that's what I did. I was like, hey, look, man, I've had gay dudes, like I don't, God damn it, man, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in a position that you got to answer to later.
I'm not going to defend I'm not going to get all defensive about what that person said, but I'm just saying, instead of letting myself get all caught up with that, I focused my attention to John 3.0, epic voice guy. He was on that stream. So I'm like, now the choice is up to me. How about instead of focusing on what that person said, I could focus on John being here. I'm lucky John showed up. Hey, let's talk about John for a second. You know what I mean? Because thinking about that, because I know it's not true, that's not going to get me anywhere. But
speaking of Shartimus, Punk with Toys down here is saying he's coming for you. There can only be one Punk at the top of the toy tube world.
Oh wow!
So apparently now you're a marked man now. It's Punk versus Punk.
Yeah,
who is the true Punk of toy tube?
There's Punker Mike too.
So now it's it's a triple threat.
Too. And Punker Mike, I think he got bloodied up at a GBH show. So I mean, as far as Punk cred goes, he had a picture of himself. His face was all bloody and everything. I did get kind of bloody in the Rancid pit. So I guess are we gonna measure it with blood? I think blood is the way to go.
First blood match.
I came out scratched the fuck up at that Rancid pit, man. I had so much fun. I had such a fantastic time. But yeah, like my elbow had gotten. I only fell once, but I was back up super fast. I didn't even fully fall down. I just one knee hit the ground. But yeah, I'll see you in the pit.
Well, Lawrence and Punk with Toys goes live at 9 p.m. every Monday. So Shartimus, if you want to go troll him in his chat, tell him how much of a phony he is. He would love that.
No, I always feel like a phony because everyone's always telling me about some new band or some project from back in the day I didn't really know about, or there's always something that I've missed. There's always there's always an album that I didn't catch, or you know what I mean. There's always something out there that I feel like I missed. See it come through his name in the hat. Fatal Four-Way.
Fatal Four-Way.
That's good.
All right, the chat is wild today.
Yeah. Punker Mike. Yeah, see random diorama remembers Punker Mike. Yeah. Those video clips were great.
So I'll ask one more question and then we'll check with the chat one more time and wrap it up. That way you can get back out. We're at like an hour 37 right now. I don't want to keep you more than what we said, but so again, you've been around 15 years. You've seen it all. The YouTube channels for the toy world fall into the three categories of you're a reviewer, which seems to be the first thing everybody goes to, the toy hunter, which seems to be the second thing everybody goes to. And then you have us, these toy podcast type shows. If you had to give somebody advice, somebody came up to you right now and like, Shartimus, love you, man. You inspired me. I want to make a toy YouTube channel as well. What kind of advice would you give them? And what do you want to see in toy YouTube? Do you want to see more of the same? Would you like to see something different? And if that is, what is that?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily advise a person to either go with the reviews or the podcast or whatever, because that's up to you. That's that you wouldn't even consider wanting to do it if you didn't already have that particular avenue in mind. So if somebody wanted to start doing reviews, I would never say to somebody, don't do reviews. There's enough reviewers. Stop. No, there's always room for another voice out there to talk about this stuff from a unique perspective. So I don't think you could have too many reviewers, honestly. And same thing with the podcasting and all that stuff. So as far as which direction to go, that's up to the individual 100%. As far as just kind of general advice, man, I don't have a whole lot because it's a struggle for me still. It's not easy for me. That number that you see right there, that 645 or whatever number of subscribers I have, I'm grateful for all my subscribers, but where it really counts is the views. The views is really where it's all about. So while I have more subscribers than Robo, there's a whole bunch of times where he's reviewed stuff and gotten more views than I have. And that's where it really matters the most, So for me, I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make things better and how to change. I guess that's my word of advice: is be malleable. Do a little bit of what I'm trying to do here with Street Humans, and be receptive to change and try to adjust as you go along. Actually, one thing I want to bring up is that after this campaign's over, I'm gonna change my rating system on my channel. Just and just to feed this idea out there, I'm thinking of doing this where I give a point rating at the beginning of my review, and then I give a point rating at the end of my review. And I've really gotten addicted to these Dave Portnoy pizza reviews. I don't know if you've ever watched them, but this guy, he's a New Yorker, originally from Massachusetts, moved to New York, and his whole goal is to review every pizza in New York City. And he gives a point system. Yeah, it's a lot of pizza. But I love his rating system. He'll give it 7.4. And that's the kind of thing I'm going to go with. So I want to, like, maybe I'll get a figure, and at the beginning, I give it a 6.2, but by the end of the review, I give it an 8.9. Who knows? You know what I mean?
So is this like so the first rating is like just the initial as you see it? Like,
right.
This is how, like, this is the packaging, like the deco, all this. This is how I see it, and then after you fidget with it and all that, this is the end product rating.
Like first 5 minutes. Like the first 5 minutes, this is what I'll set a timer, open it, first 5 minutes, that's all I get. Boom, rating. And then at the end, now I've spent hours playing with the figure, a new rating.
Greg agrees with you. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and I think it'll help people kind of watch the whole video too. Because like, well, what's he going to review it at the end? And there's a chance the rating could be exactly the same. That possibility is there. Unlikely, especially with the point system. You know what I mean? Like, it could change. You know, things could change from a 5.3 to a 5.5 or something like that. You know, but 10s will be basically near impossible, because I don't think there is any figure out there that exists that doesn't have one thing about it that could have been done different to make it better. So like, it's going to be a fairly rigid, strict, critical rating system. And I think adding something like that to my channel, I think that would be a good move to kind of increase the credibility of my opinions, especially after going through the process of developing a prototype.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. And I want to say I was really impressed with your answer there in regards to advice that you would give. And I think, you know, when you're talking about people only see this one side of you or only think one thing of you, like that shit right there that you said, that was like some real shit, and it was valuable shit. And I really appreciate and respect that answer, because that wasn't the answer I was expecting you to give. And man, like it was really valuable, man, and really cool. Like, I really thought, because if somebody told me, they were like, well, yeah, I'm going to be a reviewer, I'd be like, I don't know if you should really do that. And you're just like, no, fuck that. You go fucking do that, and you go fucking have your voice out there. And I was just like, damn, maybe I'm wrong. So I thought that was a really cool answer.
First time, Ted.
No, I'm wrong a lot. I'm mostly wrong.
How many new reviewers do you stumble across where like, damn, I like these videos? Like, this is a new reviewer. These are cool videos. Like, I constantly, every year, there's a new reviewer that pops up, whether it's a Transformers reviewer or a Legends reviewer or something, where I'm like, oh, this is a really cool take. I like this. This is new. This is different. So there's countless ways of doing this. So yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I hope the people out there see more of that side of you, you know, and
right on. And maybe that's my fault. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's me just kind of being a little afraid of letting people in. Like, with having a lot of views and a lot of recognition comes a lot of assholes. You know what I mean? A lot of people have kind of, like, not necessarily like, well, I want to say like scared me into like being myself, but definitely like made me a little bit more tense about putting myself out there, because, you know, like there's some shit that I will say, there's some shit that people have put out there that have literally traumatized me. And I've gone to therapy and shit and learned how to work through that stuff, man. I'm a person. You say some shit about me or my family, and it could get to me, and I have to deal with it just like anybody else would have to deal with some shit like that.
Awesome. Well, we got some stuff in the chat. Some people want to respond to that, and then I said we'll close it out. I want to play this damn commercial, but a punk with toys earlier said not to play his commercial. He's
Oh, okay.
debuting it tomorrow, and I'm like, still kind of want to play it. Still kind of want to play it. Worked really hard on that. I don't know if I can wait till tomorrow. He has twice as many viewers as us anyway. Like,
Yeah,
so
no one's gonna see it.
no one's gonna see it. All right, Eric, go ahead. Go ahead. What's the chat got?
Speaking of a punk with toys, his question to you was, have you thought about bringing on your sculptor and project manager to discuss questions some people would have that you might not have answered before?
Sculptor should be a Masters of the Universe character, right? That's what it is.
I don't even know how that popped in my own mouth. But yes.
No, Brandon Gash, our sculptor, he was on with us the other night when I was on the Toying Around podcast. But I would love to have, I would like to have a stream where me, Brandon, Dave Bonner, and Vinny Fontes, our designer, are all on one stream. And so I'm trying to set that up. It would probably be on my channel and just kind of feed questions from the community and see what people have to say.
Awesome. There's some music questions. We'll come back to that at the end. He also follows up with everything that you said is dead on. Subs only matter to your monetize, and then it's about views. Subs only come in time, and you will make videos people enjoy. And then we get that because we came in. We might have tried to help push it along some, but it was never a goal of ours to try to be monetized. We did it. We're happy for it, but at the end of the day, we still run business as usual.
Well, that's another thing I meant to say too, and I think it kind of goes without saying is like if you want to get something like this started, you got to do it with very little expectations and just passion. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like with me, not to just always come back to these, but this is a new thing I'm getting into. I have my expectations, but like I don't think I'm going to be like. I'm definitely not going to be like the next Todd McFarlane or anything like that. Like that, I said that before as a joke, by the way. I have my expectations that I think are reasonable. You know what I mean? And same thing if you're starting a YouTube channel, like keep your expectations reasonable. Don't go quitting your job or anything like that. Like keep it as a hobby, keep it as a passion project. I'm keeping this as a passion project. So like moving forward, it's going to have to move at a pace that works within my means. You know what I mean? I'm not dropping toy reviews and everything else going on in my life to do this. I have other stuff going on that I'm going to maintain while pushing this forward. So it's going to work at its own pace that will fit in with my lifestyle. If you're going to start making YouTube videos, let it work at its own pace that fits in with your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. Patrick, one of our most recent viewers, he says that Shartimus, I'm new to YouTube this past year, had no clue about your online persona, never seen you. You as a person gained a big fan today.
Oh, right on, man. Hey, I hope you like the content. Hopefully, I mean, if you hate the content and you like what you see here, I'm not going to be upset. But excuse me. But yeah, hey, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. But if you check out the YouTube channel, I hope you like the content.
What's this here? Big Bacon. It's certainly difficult to put the real you out there. I mean, I think that comes down to comfort. I think that comes down to comfortability. Go ahead.
To be honest with you, the amount of respect I've gotten for this, like the approach I've been getting from everybody, and I really mean like every single show that I've been on, these have been treated with respect. They've been respected by everybody, and getting that has actually like really made me a lot more comfortable. And it's like I've been kind of coming into each of these streams like just feeling better, knowing that like I've had honest opportunities presenting these, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like the general feedback has been positive, and it's just made me feel comfortable. So it's like getting like I'm no lie, man. Like I know this thing's gonna get backed, but whether it gets backed or not, and I'm gonna try not to get teary-eyed about it because I'm an emotional fucker, but for real, the amount of respect that this project has gotten and the amount of love I've gotten just for doing this, people being so receptive, I can't ever be mad at the community ever, like no matter what happens. Like everybody's given me such an honest, fair shot at this thing. That's all I could ask for, bro. And they've like everybody's been so good to the project and giving it a solid chance and giving me a solid chance to talk about it, that I have nothing but gratitude from the community either way. If it doesn't get back, thank you for the honest chance. Thank you for the honest moment to pitch this thing, you know? So regardless, man, I'm grateful to even to be at this point. Like I don't know if I'm getting my idea across the way I want to, but either way, I'm grateful that I've had this honest shot. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like if you go in for a job interview, all you can ask is an honest chance, right? And I feel like the community has really given me an honest chance. And because I've been given what I've been asked for, like I can't be upset or blame anybody else beside myself if this thing doesn't get back, which I know it will. It's just, you know, the possibility exists.
Well, it looks like you just gained another backer from James Lucas.
Hey, James Lucas, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. There we go. Making it a reality right there. It's that stone that's doing most of the work. Reality stone. Taking dreams and making them a reality. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I answered that question. Matthew Madison, this has been your great stream, Shard. Even if you didn't like a comment that I made, good luck, man. Enjoy the process.
Yeah,
I mean, the good thing is you get a lot of true, honest opinions from people, and I think that's what you really wanted in the beginning. Is you know this may not have been the right approach, but you've made adjustments. You've listened to a lot of what people are saying. Now, like I said, unfortunately, we're 2 weeks out. Some moves may not be able to work out right, but I'm sure you've listened. You've got some ideas that like, hey, maybe I'll try it this way on the next round, and know that it's going to succeed because I've been listening. So Matt, even if he did, that's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, and I think when I don't know if I could have clarified a little bit better, like relying on the YouTube channel. What I mean by that is I don't expect people to back the project just because of the YouTube channel. Of course, I'm using the channel to get the word out there and everything, but I want the crux of the decision to be made based off of the quality of the product I'm presenting. So yeah, of course, I'm using the channel as a marketing arm for this product, but I don't think that people should back the project just because it's Shartimus Prime. I want people to back the project because, hey, Shartimus Prime has cool figures. I want the figures to be the deciding factor, not the number of subscribers I have as being the deciding factor.
Sure. All right. I think that's all the questions I have based on that. There are some music questions if you wanted to answer a couple of those before we send you off to Wonderland.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Dude, this is like I gotta say, I mean, just to take a moment, I want to say this at the end, but like I really, really appreciate these questions. And like you guys, not that I've already had a lot of respect for you guys as it is, but for the two of you to ask these kinds of questions and you're actually selling the product on your site.
Yeah.
This is like you guys are like beyond legit. Like it's actually in your interest for these to sell as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But you're maintaining these really honest questions that I just think are absolutely fantastic. I think you guys are incredible.
Well, thank you, man. So before we even get to these questions, so for me personally, we met 2 years ago at PowerCon. That was my first time meeting you. It was at the AWOC table. You were messing around with Pale and posing them around. I was trying to not fanboy because I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting next to Shartimus Prime. And he's like totally posing with these figures that I want to buy. But I did afterwards while we were having parking lot beers with me and Ted. And then follow up to last year or this year. where we were now vendors of the show, and kind of it's a different take on being a fan going to a show versus being a vendor at the show and being responsible for things. So
Right.
like both times getting to meet you and sit and talk, we talked at the hotel bar. We had maybe a little too many, which is kind of sparked some conversations. But I'm glad one that you remembered us having that conversation. You gave us a fair shot to be an international provider of street humans. So no, we thank you for that, because we always are trying to get the brand out there. You've kind of opened up a new avenue that maybe we could have gotten to eventually, but you've really kind of helped get the Hello Dope name out there to some people who may not know who we are. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm happy to scratch your back. You're scratching mine. Like I think this is awesome. Like so I'm really grateful for you guys having this avenue out there available for people that want to back this project, whether in the US or outside of the US. So it's like the feeling's mutual, man. I'm really grateful for you guys.
Aaron, we got time for maybe one music question, and then Punk says we can play the commercial. And like I said, I don't want to keep Shartimus too long. He's had a lot of long days, and I don't want to go over the time we said.
Got it. Not really music questions, just posts that we talked about earlier. Punk with Toys, Rancid and Pennywise played a show here in Detroit, boo, Michigan, and then COVID hit, and nothing for years.
Misfits was mine in 2019. I got to see the original Misfits. They had Dave Lombardo playing drums though, instead of one of the other drummers. But yeah, that was my last show before COVID hit, and that was one of the best shows I've ever been to ever. Like that Misfits show is one of the best. So that show for you probably. Oh yeah, Clash, Ramones, Dead Milkmen. Yeah, all great bands.
There's another one. I mean, Cobweb Collector. Rancid was one of my favorite bands. Big Tim Armstrong fan. First tattoo was a transplant gas mask.
Oh, nice. Oh, can I tell a couple of Tim Armstrong stories? Is that
go for it? Yeah, we have plenty of time. I was just more worried about you.
Oh no. I'm good. I just the kids. That's the only thing. Yeah, I have to watch the time.
No, tell your story. You're good.
But I have two incredible interactions with Tim Armstrong. The first time I was on tour with a band, and we were playing Warped Tour, and the bass player is looking at me. It's one of the smaller stages, of course, and he's going like this, Tim. I'm like, what? And I could barely hear shit. I'm drumming. And then I look over to the side, and Tim Armstrong sitting on the hood of a truck filming us with a 8mm camera, just like bobbing his head.
Oh yeah.
And then afterwards, we got to talk to him and hang out a whole bunch and gave him our CD. That was fucking crazy. And then the second time I met Tim Armstrong was at San Diego Comic-Con. My wife pointed him out. She was pregnant with our second kid. So I'm filming the Hot Toys booth. And then afterwards, I see my wife like, I'm like, oh shit! Like, is she having
the baby's coming?
What the hell's going on? And I'm like, oh fuck! I took too long filming. Oh my god, I'm a piece of shit. My wife needed my help, and she's pregnant, and I'm filming. She's like, Tim, I saw Tim Armstrong walk by. I'm like, no fucking way. She's like, yeah, he had a white Ramones shirt on. I was like, just give me a few minutes to see if I could find him. And I went that direction, and I fucking found him. And I'm chatting with him and everything. And he's like, oh, so what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm into action figures. I mostly do videos, talking about action figures. I do reviews on action figures. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, I got this. I'm working with Black Mask, and we're doing this. As he's talking, it's me, Tim, some random guy on the other side of Tim goes, hey, Shartimus, and reaches across Tim Armstrong for the fist bump. Oh, yeah. The guy that fist bump, like, hey, thanks, man. And Tim looks at him, he looks at me, he goes, so what kind of toys do you review? Like, I was like, oh, a lot of action figure, like 6-inch. He's like, oh, and he pointed to the Funko Pops. He's like, oh, do you know those ones? I'm trying to get the Joey Ramone. And we talked about fucking Ramones for like 20 minutes in Artist Alley at San Diego Comic-Con, off in a little section where there's no tables. So it was like this little private hangout, and we were just talking about Ramones a whole bunch. I play drums, so I asked him about guitar, and he started giving me some tips about palm muting. He's like, oh, you want to count to 8. You go stroke down 8, and then you go come up after 8. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you go come back up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting a guitar lesson from Tim Armstrong. I can't this shit happening. Like, I can't fucking believe this shit. Yeah, I got a picture taken with him and everything. I was geeking the fuck out. So just knowing that there was a bunch of Rancid fans in the chat, I had to share that story. And so I don't know. I have to brag about that story every now and then because that shit was fucking amazing. He was so cool. He's like, we're gonna run into each other again. I got a feeling about you. We're gonna run into each other again. I'm like, oh, he's nice.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's all the musically related questions I have.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I could go on and on.
Hey, like I said, we'll send you that info for Jim Largo to get on that Infinite playlist. I'm sure some people would love to know what's in your musical dossier, as they say over there.
And A Punk with Toys does Thursday with a Friend. You guys could probably throw back some stories for hours, man. So and Lawrence does a really good job interviewing people. Like very impressive. If you ever have time on your tour, after your tour,
we can do it during the tour to promote it. Shit, I don't mind. I'm trying to go everywhere with this thing. So if you wanted to set something up for Thursday before the toy tour ends, I think I have opening because I extended it those 7 days. I have a lot more openings like in those next 7 days. So
Lawrence, get on that, buddy.
Yeah.
So there was some AWOC talk in the chat, and then of course, highly articulated pops in. He must have had his AWOC ears out. But he's saying rising tides floats all boats. Support isn't always about buying something. Helping gets the word out, and sometimes it's more beneficial. So even if you are in a financial bind, you can't support the Kickstarter, share the post. Get out there, let people know because
Oh yeah.
You may have somebody that he's not following, or we're not following, or we're following someone that they're not following. The more people who see it, is more potential backers that can get this project off the ground. So share it, love it, help it.
I really do appreciate that. For anybody who's spread the word about Street Humans and it's not for you, dude, not all action figures are for me. And I don't expect all action figures to be for everybody also. You know what I mean? Like, we have to pick and choose, right? So if it's not for you and you promote it anyway, like, man, that means a lot to me. I would appreciate it, if you did. So yeah, more power to you for those that aren't interested in backing it. But I think most of you are going to be interested in that. It's a pretty cool line, man. I think you guys are going to dig it. I want it in your hands so bad.
Cobweb Collector says you also just got a new sub. Those Rancid stories really got to him. So.
Oh, really, Cobweb? Right on. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so Kickstarter information, I believe, is in the description below. I think we also pinned it in the chat. You can also support us at Hello Dope Toys by buying it from us if you would like to. But support it any way you can. We want to get this off the ground. We want to make sure that we try to do our part to help out. Also, Punk with Toys says, Ted, that it's okay. You can show the commercial.
I'm gonna play the commercial here at the end.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyway.
But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna just say one closing word because y'all got all sappy a few minutes ago. Shartimus, I have been watching you for many, 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 many years since I started collecting again. You were the first toy YouTuber I found. I would just binge watch your shit. Especially with all the Marvel Legends waves that I'd missed out on. And I was like, I can't find this motherfucker. I need Shartimus to tell me all about it. It was a fucking trip meeting you the first time at PowerCon. You showed me edit your stop motion, and I thought that was really fucking cool.
I was surprised you watched the whole time. Like you
Dude,
hung
I was
out
hanging with fucking
like,
Shartimus Prime.
awesome. Yeah,
Fucking hanging with Shartimus Prime. How the fuck do I leave that, dude? I've been watching you forever. It was cool seeing you this past year at PowerCon as well, and it's really cool having you here because a year ago we were nothing, and now we have Shartimus Prime on the show, and that's a big deal to us. So I wish you nothing but luck with the Kickstarter. We're going to continue doing our end to try to get these international fellas out there. They're still a little tight on the shipping thing, but we'll win them over. They're just waiting. We have a lot of carts full. They just need to pull that trigger. So, yeah. Shartimus, what would you like to promote?
Well, obviously, Street Humans. Like, if you guys want to, if you back it through the Kickstarter, it does help a little bit more. It helps us, get the visuals out there and everything. So if you had a choice, like the Kickstarter does help a lot. I'm just constantly in a state of, trying to do things as good as I can. So, I'm going to please keep an eye out for polls. For those
Polls
of you
about
that are
pants.
Yeah, just watch those polls about pants.
Again, like I really do mean it. These are figures for the community. So who am I to fight against the whole community if you guys would prefer to see something else from the line over something else that I picked? You know what I mean? So I really want this thing to succeed as much as possible. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that I deliver on some really awesome shit. So you guys deserve it. This is an awesome community. I'm going into this in your debt already. I've been treated with so much respect on this thing. Not everybody in the chat on every stream has been kind, but the fact that every host has given this thing a solid chance really makes me feel like I'm in debt to the community to deliver on this product. So stay tuned. This thing's gonna get backed. And it's been growing more and more every day, and that's just made me feel really good about it. So,
I mean, the good thing is you've already surpassed the first run goal. So
yeah,
at least that's something to hold on to.
Yes.
That shows progress.
Yeah, no, and every day it goes up. Every day we get more backers. So it's all moving in the right direction. And I think we're going to get a big bump towards the end, especially after some of these other campaigns die down.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. Aaron,
thank you again. You guys are fucking amazing dudes. Like the fuck, man. Really, damn. Yeah, I'm just really impressed with you guys. So I already liked you both, but why did you have to? You have to make me like you even more.
The more people that sing the gospel, that's what we go for.
Aaron, what do you have to promote, Aaron?
Oh, brah, how much time we got?
Not enough.
Just real quick, I guess. We got a couple of the Marvel Legends Mindless One Wave. It is in stock right now. We got a restock on the WWE Braun Breaker. There's a chance for a chase. The Solo Sokoa, you pick a date. Let's both be surprised by it.
Let's find out.
Yeah, right. We still got plenty of the Hydra Stomper wave. So if you're missing some pieces to that, make sure you guys are getting that.
Stomps.
And Street Humans, man. Back Street Humans. Let's get this thing off the ground.
International. Come get them. You can support. Everything goes there. Your money is safe with us. And then we ship it out when it comes. And it's going to be packaged beautifully, just like everything else that we package. Aaron, that all you got?
That's all I got, but just hit that like button.
Oh, I may want to just throw this out there, for any international buyers that are on the fence of working with helladopetoys, you should check out the Dan Who live stream that I did, because Rich had a lot of really nice things to say about you guys. So don't take my word for it, or don't take their word for it. Take a customer's word for it and check out that stream.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. I enjoyed being in that chat. I wasn't expecting the kindness from that community. I was like, I don't know who you are, but they're just like, hey, I buy from helladopetoys. I'm like, that's fucking awesome, dude. Cool. So I'm going to leave you guys with our minute and a half Mossman commercial that will premiere on A Punk with Toys tomorrow. And unboxing art, if you're still watching, I have a special one coming for you as well. But I gave Punk exclusive rights to Mossman. This is all the Mossman you guys are getting for about a week or so. So I need this to be yourself, okay? We have the Mossmobile coming. I'm very excited for it, but I have a busy week. So this is your Mossman for right now. Just a taste. It's not much, guys. It's not much. But here is our new commercial for Hella Dope Toys. Shartimus, thank you so much, man. And we will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Mossman, what are you doing back here? Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor. Right. Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice.
Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben. Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to helladopetoys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from helladopetoys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to helladopetoys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.